Hello and welcome everybody, what is going on? So according to Sky Sports News Germany as well as Mohamed Bafasi from RMC Sport, Bayern have decided to sell Renato Sanches to Lille. Now, the reason why I'm quoting both of these sources, first of all, both of them are very credible with two different sectors. Sky Sports News obviously being credible when it comes to Bayern, and Mohamed Bafasi from RMC Sport being very credible when it comes to, well, pretty much just in general when it comes to French clubs. Now, this news has kind of been going on and on. I've even made a video about this a while ago saying that I personally would want to sell Renato Sanches just because I thought that he is a disturbance to the team, because I felt like his outbursts to the press and whatnot were unjust, and thus they put a negative strain on the coach. So I'm not actually surprised to see that we've now agreed, or it seems that we've agreed. It's still a rumor, of course, but it seems that we have agreed to sell Renato Sanches to Lille. Now the two transfer sources, they're saying two different numbers. I think it's Mohamed Bafasi who's saying that we're selling him for 25 million including bonuses, and Sky Sports News is saying that we're selling him for 20 million including bonuses. So there is a 5 million euro discrepancy. Of course, we probably likely won't know the numbers because clubs rarely ever disclose the actual fees, the actual numbers. So we'll see how exactly that goes down. But I feel like overall it just kind of signals the journey that Renato Sanches has had, where when he arrived at Bayern back then, he was one of our most expensive players ever. I mean, to a degree, he still is one of our most expensive players ever. But it just showed the kind of faith that we had in a young, I think at that time it was an 18-year-old kid, who pretty much took on the world by storm. We paid 35 million euros with bonuses that could go up to 85 million, and now a few years later we're selling him for 20 to 25 million euros, and that despite the fact that the market has inflated by a lot. I mean, what's the actual percentage, who knows, but it has inflated by quite a lot. So it just shows you the kind of trajectory that Renato Sanchez's career has had, and ultimately I feel like it's a little bit of our fault but also a little bit of his fault. Now when he had Ancelotti, he didn't really do that well, and then when we loaned him out to Swansea, he didn't. I think they even said that he was, like, from what I've heard from their supporters, they said that he was one of the worst players they've ever had in their entire history. I've watched a few games of him at Swansea, not that many, like maybe 3 or 4. And I feel like I've been actually the 3 or 4 games that he's actually played, but like, he didn't really look he pretty much did the same thing that he does now, where he's on the ball, he tries to get past players, and then ultimately, he doesn't release the ball quick enough, and that's always been my one issue with him, that he likes being on the ball. I like him being different from all of our other midfielders, but quite frankly, when you lose the ball more than you actually create something, then it kind of comes back to bite you. So not to throw shade at him, of course, because he's had a lot of good moments too. I felt like the last few 10 months, I want to say, have been very good from him. Personally, I feel like he should have played a lot more in the second half of the season last season, because I thought what he showed in the first half of the season last season was very good, and then suddenly he stopped playing in the second half of the season last season. So that would have been the one big change, because I felt like he started to get into his groove last season at the beginning of it, and then he just stopped playing, and now he's trying to find his feet again. It's just not really working for him. So I feel like for his career, it's obviously best if he moves clubs. For us personally, I feel that we do need to get an addition in. Who that exactly is, I know a lot of the newspapers have been saying, I've got that here as well, is that we're trying to go obviously after Marc Roja, who would cost roughly 40 million. I mean, that's his release clause. Yeah, that's certainly someone I wouldn't mind, but there's a lot of other options, especially midfield. There's like 100,000 options that can kind of fill in that number 6 role. So the market is still young. We still have 2 weeks, I think, to go, so that's still plenty of time. A lot of other transfers might happen, so I'm not too worried right now about who we're gonna get, who we're gonna bring in, who we're gonna get, and so on and so forth. For now, the important thing is that Renato Sanches is leaving, and I'll keep you up to date if we find out anything more about other transfers coming in or whatnot. But that's all I have to say, though, ladies and gentlemen. That's it from me. I will see you all next time, everybody. Peace out. Have a nice day, and